after IIMB. So I joined ICICI Venture as part of campus placement with the ICICI group. Then I got an opportunity to move to Infosys, where we were setting up a new life sciences practice. That was a very interesting experience. I was part of the founding team. I relocated to New York with that. Over a period, I was talking to a lot of people in the industry. I was also talking to the founder of Tally. Then he convinced me that I should join them, help do some corporate planning activities there. That was the genesis of the entrepreneurial journey. That yes, there's something which should be done, can't do in the current role. So me and my co-founder incorporated the company and we started. After IIMB, so I joined ICICI Venture as part of campus placement with the ICICI group. This was at the height of the dot-com boom. ICICI Venture was among the one of the very few venture capital players in the country at that time. I was hired primarily to invest in the life sciences industry because of my biotech background and understanding of finance. It was seen as a good combination to play in that industry. So I spent about 2 years there, invested in life sciences, specialty chemicals, biotech. Also did investments in retail, media. Finally, we did a couple of investments in the internet space also. Then I got an opportunity to move to Infosys, where we were setting up a new life sciences practice. So it was an opportunity to actually build a business instead of giving Gyan as an associate in the venture capital organization. That was a very interesting experience. I was part of the founding team, did everything, wearing multiple hats: solution development, pre sales, sales, delivery, consulting, whatever was required to help set up that business. So we did that. I relocated to New York with that in that role. Having spent another year in New York with Infosys, I moved to an Apollo Hospital sister concern based out of New Jersey. Was handling corporate planning and development for them. Did very interesting acquisitions as part of that role, and then spent a lot of time integrating those acquisitions. Yeah, very meaty role at that time. One of the things which happened in that was when we acquired a company, so we were about 30 million top line. We acquired another company which was about 80 million in top line. Heavily leveraged acquisition. JP Morgan was one of our private equity investors. They convinced us that yes, you can go with a 7x leverage, no problem. And then you just go public and retire part of the debt and come back to 3.5, and everything will be good. So we went ahead with that. We were about to go public. We had filed DRHP and everything. And that's when the Lehman crisis occurred in 2007-8, and everything went for a toss. So we were close to bankruptcy. Our clients were, some of them went bankrupt, and we were like the last receivable in bottom of the food chain. So very tough 2 years trying to get out of that crisis. We renegotiated the debt and everything, and finally we rebuilt the company and tried to raise additional capital. That did not happen because we had taken on a couple of investors as pre-IPO placement, and they could never get to a positive that same valuation. Finally, we sold that business to Sutherland, and I spent another 9 months transitioning out, and that's when I relocated back to India. Spent some time with a biotech company trying to help set up their operations. It was one of my old portfolio companies which was struggling. That was a time when Indian government announced the new Companies Act. So I was the CEO and CFO for that company, and when they announced that, they made the CFO as the officer in default for any statutory defaults, and we had tons of statutory defaults at that time. And the day the act was notified, the next day I tendered my papers that yes, I can do everything, but I can't go to jail because of what the company is going through.
तो
And
तू भाग गया.
matlab, company did not have the ability to defend me,
Yeah.
so I had no choice.
Yeah, of course,
And
of course.
basically spent another, I would say, 5 6 months trying to figure out what I want to do next. I'd already relocated back to India. I had started doing my CFA earlier. The level 3 I had failed twice while I was in US, so I took that time to actually study and appear for level 3 again. because I had enough time to do that. I managed to pass that time. Over a period, I was talking to a lot of people in the industry. I was also talking to the founder of Tally. Then he convinced me that I should join them, help do some corporate planning activities there. Once I joined, there was a lot of interesting things we did across different initiatives. I got a chance to lead the education business for them and to build that education business. They were trying to set up a new business, and I got a chance to lead that primarily because one of the things which the founder told me why they chose me is because I had no background in education. So that was their primary driver, that yes, you understand business, but you don't understand this industry. So you can question everything from first principles as to
Yes.
why anything is there.
That's always very important, isn't it? Is because you come with an outside in perspective rather than
Yes.
acha ye to we only do like that.
So that was very interesting. I spent about 3.5 years building that business. A lot of new things I had to do. I had to sell. I had to build partners. There were already existing partners who were very strongly entrenched in the Tally ecosystem. Had to kind of get them along with how we wanted to run things. It was quite interesting. We scaled it to about almost 1.5 2 lakh students a year in terms of selling Tally certifications. We created OEM certifications around Tally and computerized accounting. And as part of that, one of the things which I was dealing with is that just domain knowledge is not enough. There is much more that the students need to learn to actually become productive, become very contributing citizens. And my mandate at Tally did not allow me to do that, in addition to what the domain training in Tally was. And it was one of the things which was at the back of the mind. So that was the genesis of the entrepreneurial journey, that yes, there's something which should be done, can't do in the current role. A lot of issues which people deal with in their midlife and so on have their genesis to their childhood experiences and kind of solidify that personality as you grow. So the idea was that okay, there are so many people who can have a very different journey in life if they kind of get intervention much earlier. जो बोलते हैं ना, देयर इज दिस मूवी जब वी मेट वेयर जैसे कि जिंदगी रेल की पटरी की तरह जरा सी खिसकाओ तो आप कहीं और चले गए. When people are just starting getting into their career, can you give a slight nudge to that which changes the trajectory materially? That's the
Right.
best time to make that nudge. So me and my co-founder incorporated the company and we started. And as we were building it, then we're thinking, okay, who are the best people for these specific roles, and then got the right people in. Peak Mind, it has evolved over the last 3 4 years, and the shape it is in now is basically it's a digital platform with a fair degree of AI support, because you that's there in the market right now. The idea is to help protect and improve mental health, well-being, and performance of students, of learners. We focus on the student segment, primarily age groups from 13 to 25 is the segment that we operate in. The solution, of course, is extensible to other parts of the population as well, but we have chosen to operate in this segment, just going deeper into it. Primarily work with institutions, yeah, coaching institutions, test prep, schools, colleges, universities. Served about almost 100,000 students till now. And this year, again, we are looking to add maybe another 150,000 students to our portfolio. We don't do B2C yet. For a period as we mature, we'll probably look at offering that. Right now, we operate primarily through institutions.